some people wonder about the leadership of the world and whether or not there is if we have an appropriate leadership pattern. We have institutions we've inherited, nation state, various institutions, the World Bank, the United Nations. There are various institutions that we try to work with. Many people feel that, particularly in the media, and you and I both in our ways are involved with media, there's a broader media, that there is a secret agenda. There was just recently a poll made in the United States, and 99% of the people in the United States said they thought the news in the United States was slanted in order to hide a secret agenda. I wonder what do you make of a figure like that there should be such distrust of the world as is presented through the media to the broad public? What does it say? And I wonder if there is anything like an agenda that some of our world leadership have that perhaps we're not aware of.
Yes, well, that theme came to my mind, and the more I meet the world leaders and more different countries I visited, I felt each time. So I was trying to find out really who is running the world. There must be sort of shadow government, and I finally found out totally what it was.
Really?
It is very shocking, and you know, such a short time, I don't know how much I could speak.
I understand.
But it really exists. You see, even American presidency and all this, and many of this political decision and so forth, you can put it this way: in the multinational company boardroom, more or less decide, you know, who the president should be and so on. And the media, in the Western media, like England, France, America, the major media, yes, key station, TV stations, big newspapers, and other agencies are 100% owned by them, the banks, you know, and all this. So it's totally controlled thing, and so I've been finding, because for example, Gulf War, I visited both sides.
Yes.
Gaddafi's place you've been to, North Korea I've been to, and very recently, after North Korean President Kim, by watching my international symposium 1989, that so many country people came and so forth, and I had the press conference at the United Nations and so forth. By watching that far away, the North Korean ambassador came to my office. This is marvelous that you can do on your own like this. If you have something like that next time, would you involve us? You know,
Yeah.
that was their approach for the first time. I've never been to North Korea, although I've been in 165 countries throughout the world. So last summer, when North Korea and South Korea decided to have a talk, all the media people went to South Korea, waiting for the July 25th meeting on Hammonten. Then North Korea suddenly said to me, Madam, you alone please come, you know, as a peacemaker. No one else, just yourself we'd like to invite. So I went North Korea July 5th, and I was about to meet on the 11th to the President Kim exclusive interview and so forth, and he suddenly died on the 8th, and on the 9th I was alone there, and all this media jumped on me. They interviewed me almost in Japan. One whole week I was in the news and so forth. And that time, outside media was saying North Korea is such and such, you know, picturing such a horrible country and so forth. The minute I was in North Korea, I just couldn't believe it. This is the same North Korea that people are talking about.
You've been misrepresented.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so I became to, you know, feel more and more of that, and many of the things are totally decided, and someone really manipulate the whole thing, and perhaps the greed becomes so huge, and that they can, maybe you can say Anglo-American monetary establishment,
Anglo-American monetary
establishment. Yes, that's
would be
in the form of multinational corporate. And
would we include also the Japanese?
No,
I mean the trilateral nations? Not the Japanese.
Trilateral is bringing in, but Japan is not quite brought in yet. You see, Japan is very closed society.
Japan quickly emerges.
They're trying to get, but
Japan quickly emerges as the world economic leader of the world.
But Japan is nothing in terms of who controls it. You see, Japan is manipulated, but not in the leadership at all. And military-industrial complex is another one. I think your President Eisenhower, when he was leading this country, presidency, he said, I worry about American future. Maybe military-industrial complex is something that this country has to worry, and that exactly is happened, I think. So these two are together. So many things happening, and
do you think it is possible? Do you think that it is possible that perhaps because of some sort of transformation, perhaps metaphysically understood, one possibility might be unbeknownst to us as we develop? We may be, for instance, with all of these curves, as you indicated, going exponentially up in this particular time in which we come to a birth of a new way of relating, that perhaps unbeknownst to us, the physical or conditions of the world have changed in a way that allows for us collectively as a whole society to operate in a manner that historically we have not been able to. James Joyce, the poet, did say, or had Daedalus say, history is a nightmare from which we're attempting to awaken. Do you think it's possible that we may be coming to a time where one possibility might be that we are overcoming in a physical sense, a material sense, the fundamental reality of scarcity in terms of our technologically augmented capability of providing for the earth, whereas all institutions had evolved within scarcity, zero sum. If one wins, another had to lose. That we may be that we're transcending scarcity, that's one possibility, or some other kind of development that isn't generally understood or known. That we could have a pattern of a qualitative and revolutionary transformation of the operation of this spaceship Earth and the human condition in a way that would be empowering of all of the people, and ecologically so, but also could be so comprehensively appropriate to the evolution of universal mind as to be inclusive of those who are responsible for the historically inherited patterns, so that everyone could be involved synergistically and in terms of their own given reality in a pattern, so that there would be no enemy, that we could truly see that we're all in this together. And do you think maybe that might be the promise of the time in which we live, or is that reaching too far?
Well, perhaps the kind of things that you are saying up until 200 years ago, it's kind of useful conversation. But what I've been finding out is after 18th century, when the national sovereignty occurs and all this banking system and all this greed of some elite,
elite.
Yes, in terms of Anglo-American banking system and all that. Very small group totally controlling the whole situation now.
The Bilderbergers, sometimes they're referred to.
Many of that round table, for example, involving quite a few British establishment, and America is simply taking the order from them, and people like Kissinger was totally trained before he was going to Harvard University, totally brainwashed and trained and planted in this part of the world. And when you start finding out all this, what he's done together with this people, Bilderberger and whatever, round table or whatever, it's just, I just couldn't believe my eyes, finding out all these things. And drug was particularly brought into this part of the world 1968 to 1972 purposely. And such a hypocrisy going on with having a title of road on this and wearing the suits and having Royal Institute of International blah, blah, blah. You know, this is amazing thing. And the people say it is very dangerous. Even one word you utter, you know, your life is endangered. But I experienced eternal life. And knowing the world can be treated like this, I mean, someone has to stand up and someone has to start informing American people and to the world. What America is having now is properly, America has its only constitution and voting power. All the other things are stripped completely without awareness of American public. This is very sad. And now I think they're trying to do it to Japan. Now they're trying to the Middle East. And step by step, you see how America was stripped away. I can even vividly write the total thing.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a very important period. All these things has to be known to the people, as well as spiritualism has to go together. That's the real renaissance of the political